Hey, yo, Austin, what's up, man? This is Grady and Alex. We're in the house with ICP. Special guest ICP are in the house today.
What up?
Juggalos are here.
We're go for life, baby.
We're in Juggalo country today. So this is cocoa time because you make your coffee with cocoa beans. So cocoa time. Special guests today are the Juggalos. They're somewhere out there somewhere, and Alex is also here. He's also a special guest today.
I'm gonna be channeling Violent J this afternoon.
Violent J, Shaggy 2 Dope. What up, dog?
Shaggy 2 Dope.
Shaggy 2 Dope. Austin, man. So countdown to your return. Your return was yesterday, according to your text the other day. But
so you're running a little bit behind, but we're still gonna wait for you.
I will wait for you. What's this doing? Is it gonna stop this?
No, it won't stop.
Okay. I will wait for you, just like I waited for my wife. I will wait for you.
Well, I have a different perspective on that. I'll still wait though. I'll still wait for you. I won't let you come alone. Well, I also have a different perspective on that too. But you all right?
No.
Is the computer gonna die?
Austin, bro. Last week I was searching the old YouTube for a video on Miracles for youth group that night, and Miracles by the Insane Clown Posse popped up, and so I watched the video, and that was honestly my first exposure ever to Insane Clown Posse.
I told him this story a little bit, but I didn't know what you were looking up. I didn't know you were looking up Miracles. That's great.
So you already know this story?
Yeah, he sort of does. I told him, he called me the other night. I answered, and I told him that I walked in and you were listening to ICP
Dang it.
and eating a banana, and that you said, have you heard of these guys?
Dang it. Well,
so he knows that story.
Well, that sucks.
I didn't know the Miracles part though. That's great.
That sucks. So
I love that. That's how you came across him, looking up Miracles for youth group.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
I guess that just adds to it or whatever. So that's my. So I thought they're like a screamo band. I guess because like they dress up as clowns and stuff. I thought they were screamo, but I guess they're a rap group. So since then I've been like checking them out just to see what they're all about. Watched a couple of live shows with the Juggalo Gathering. They're just a weird group. We watched a couple of interviews. Fox News interviewed these people twice.
Fox News, I didn't know they had that red line thing, but yeah, Bill O'Reilly interviewed basically just Violent J. Didn't really talk to Shaggy 2 Dope.
Shaggy 2 Dope doesn't talk too much.
he's more there for the swag. But yeah, Violent J and Bill O'Reilly were having a really good conversation, talking about how Violent J asked a 12-year-old if his nuts had dropped yet, and told a 14-year-old to go smoke something to experiment with drugs. He didn't like that too much.
Bill O'Reilly couldn't understand the logic behind those questions. But Violent J, he had some good reasons for saying those things to the 12-year-old kid. So he said the kid was going to go home and smoke something no matter what he said. So you might as well tell him to go home and smoke something, I guess.
It's really, really sound psychology.
Right. So so we've been checking out ICP a lot, and we hung out this last Saturday night, dog, and we're excited for you to come home. We went on a couple of different adventures at nighttime Saturday, and we just want you to come home so we can we went and previewed 2 spots.
Yep.
It was a preview because we wanted to save it. It was a teaser. We wanted to save it for whenever you came home. So we're anxious for the 17th. I wonder what you look like these days and how much you weigh and things like that. So we're gonna fill you in so you can kind of get anxious with us and excited. So Alex has a barber.
I have a barber, Frank the Tank. He knows about Frank. I think Austin knows about Frank.
And,
what does that have to do with it? Oh yeah, he told.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you talking about my barber? No, he told me. Because every time I go, well, like the first 5 times I went and got my hair cut, he told me, or asked me where I'm from. It's okay, 5 times. He got it eventually. But he asked me where I'm from. I said, oh, out by Shawswick. He's like, oh, you know where Shawswick School is then, right? I was like, yeah, I do. So if you're going heading east. Yeah, if you're heading east on 50, and you see Feral Gas, you take a right. Between that road and Shawswick, and between Leatherwood Creek and Shawswick and 50, there's a Civil War era house that's totally beautiful. It has wonderful woodwork inside.
Supposedly,
yes.
According to Frank,
which he's very, very impressionable. I don't know what I'm saying, but I like him a lot. But he says it's a beautiful Civil War era house that's getting just totally vacant. He came across it when he was wabbit hunting. He says rabbit. I prefer wabbit. But he came across it and he said that it was just gorgeous. So I've told Brady about it a few times, and we finally decided on Saturday night, because we're a couple of crazy cats, we'd go try to find it.
We're a couple of lamos and couldn't think of an idea.
Well, you thought of it. It was just I was scared because it was dark.
Right, and then he finally said go, and so we went.
Turned into yes, man.
So we drive out there. We're still on Highway 50. Okay, so first of all, to preface, we spent the first half hour watching ICP stuff, watching ICP interviews and live shows, and so like those people, at least to Alex, like not so much me, but at least to Alex, like he commented multiple times that they just kind of freak him out.
They make me uncomfortable. They make me feel uneasy.
Right. And so that was kind of the mood going into these dark adventures, not knowing exactly where we were going. And so we're driving on Highway 50, a popular highway. And Alex is already like, this is a scary road.
I was freaking out. I had a lot of anxiety.
So then we turn on to Feral Gas. We turn on that road.
Feral Gas Lane.
By Feral Gas. And we're driving. And according to... We kind of checked it out on Google Maps beforehand, and Alex said, okay, there's going to be a house, and then a couple shakes past that, and there we are.
A couple shakes.
Right, exactly, a couple shakes. So we passed the house, kept going. I had my eyes open trying to find it. He's trying to find a place to park on the side of the road. I turned around, and I saw like a silhouette of a house, kind of. So I told him to stop, and it just so happened there was a place to pull over right there.
It was kind of far away.
Right.
I remember that.
But
we'll get to that part.
It was pretty close to where I said, like, I see it. Because I didn't see it until after we passed it pretty good. So we pulled over. We're out around Shawswick area. There's not a whole lot of houses out there or anything. It's really dark. There's no street lights or anything. So we walk up this road that we just drove down. We don't pass any cars. It's just not very well traveled at all area. So we walk back up the road, and then Alex wanted to get the high ground, which I thought was a good decision. So we climbed up the hill, and then once we got to the top of the hill, we walked into the field, and we got our cell phone lights because that's all we had. Alex had a knife.
We were scared before we even climbed up the hill. We were reconsidering whether or not we should even go up there.
Yeah, I was fine until Alex pulled over the car, and then ever since I got out of the car, I was trying to tell him not to go, not to go.
He was telling me to go all night, and then he told me not to go.
Right.
And we switched roles.
Right. So we get into the field, and we have our cell phone flashlights out, and we're kind of we're walking in the very back of this field. There's a tree line that we're kind of hugging to our left. When we're walking, we're kind of shining our lights through the trees trying to find it, and we walk a considerable amount, and then finally we see, like, we were about to turn around 2 or 3 times, and finally we see, like, I shined my light and I saw the house. I saw the window.
I saw a window, yeah.
I saw a window in the outside wall. And as soon as I said that out loud, Alex freaked. And he started sprinting, and I freaked also because I follow suit. So we're
just sprinting in a field at night. We decided it's the best idea to turn our lights off so nobody can see us. So we're just in a dead sprint in an empty cornfield trying to get out of there. Then we finally get to this. It was steeper on the way down for some reason. It didn't seem that steep on the way up. And then Brady just takes down, like, no fear at all. Then he's stumbling his way down, almost crashes and burns. I laugh at him and do the same, but almost worse. We make it just fine, though. And then we're still scared, I guess, at this point. I'm not really sure. So we were running down the road, which Brady said that we parked pretty close to the house. We did not park close to the house. We're sprinting. Lights are still off. Still don't want to be seen. Brady's telling stories about how he's been caught in a field and how he's had spotlight flashed on him by a guy. So we're terrified. Just running away. Nothing in hindsight. Nothing about this was scary. There was no reason for us to be scared. We just hyped it up for no good reason. My barber said it was a beautiful place, so it shouldn't have been scary. I was just in an anxious mood when he said when he shined his light on the window, and I saw it, and I just imagined everything bad that could possibly happen. Most of this, I think, stems from the fact that I work with drug addicts, and they tell me that they just have these random locations, these trap houses that they use drugs in, and I'm just convinced that at some point in my life I'm going to come across one that's going to be terrifying. They're going to be the creatures from I Am Legend. I'll explain more when we see each other. But back to Brady, since he made me talk for that entire time.
But I don't know what I missed, but on the way, so.
No, I explained the whole thing. You gotta go to the next story.
All right. No, I'm going to touch on a couple things.
Okay.
I just want to emphasize a couple things. So Alex, he kind of told me lots of stories about his clients and everything, and their descriptions about these trap houses. And based on what he described to me, that the small little glimpse that I saw, that was a good spot for.
That's a trap house.
For a trap house. That's a good spot for a trap house. But even if we weren't in like eerie moods and had these uneasy vibes going into it, I don't think we would have ever like walked up to the house at nighttime.
Oh, we're two cowards.
Two cowards. TWO and two TOO. We're two cowards.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't think we would have done that. But in the daytime, whenever you come next, it might be a nighttime since we have three of us.
No, we gotta see a daytime.
We got to see a daytime. We got to see the architecture.
That's what Frank's talking about.
So whenever you come, we'll go in the daytime and we will check out the house and see what it's all about. See the beauty of it. And then the other thing I forgot about, so maybe I'll think of it later on. There was
another thing you wanted to touch on?
There was a different part of the story. I don't remember what it was. So.
Well, I was excited. I'm excited for that second part.
It was around the part like whenever I saw the house and we took off running. like there was something there there was something about that moment I want to talk about more.
I took off. I don't remember much about it except for running and turning my light off and
Yeah.
just being scared.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on and let you think about it. I mean, this podcast is already excessive, so.
It's not excessive. It's only 13 minutes.
Austin doesn't have time for us for 13 minutes. There's no way he's listening to it right now.
Well, not right now. He's not.
No. At this point in the podcast, he's like, "Oh my goodness, this is a terrible story."
We're still on the second story. He's excited for the second part.
He's buckled in.
Right.
Can't wait for more.
This isn't excessive.
I do need to leave in a while, but I'll pretend I don't.
Okay. Perfect.
Because friendship's more important than work.
Perfect.
So story 2.
Story 2. Have you told him anything about it at all?
No.
So I went out to Tunnelton. This will be really uninteresting probably if you've been to Tunnelton already a few times in your life. I don't know if you have or not. But
I don't know. I don't know if you will.
But I've been out to Tunnelton. I went out there for the first time a few months ago. I think late summer. I went out there for the first time in my life, and it was a really scary place. And I mean, I went out at nighttime. It was like at 1 a.m, and we went through the tunnel and everything. And so I've been telling Alex kind of all this, and he's been scared to go the whole time. And then after we leave the Civil War house, when we get back in the car, we start driving back. I'm kind of talking about it, but it's almost a half-hour drive to get there. And I told Alex that, and I really wasn't thinking that he would go. And then we get to the Tunnelton stoplight, and he said, "Yep, we're going." And so we turned.
It sounded way cooler than that, though. It sounded really tough when I said it, but you can keep going.
So we turned onto Tunnelton Road, and we went all the way there. Your turn.
It honestly took about half an hour. It was crazy. Again, if you've been to Tunnelton, this is a very unexciting story. But we're driving. I'm kind of.
Once you get into Tunnelton,
I was good. I was pretty good the entire time. When we saw the mansion, I was then like I had flashes of like I don't like this, but it was fine until we get to this. What is it? An underpass? What's that called?
I don't know. It was an underpass.
I think
of a bridge.
It was like a one-car underpass, but there has to be traffic coming from both ways. Brady did not warn me about this.
I forgot all about it.
And it shouldn't have been scary, but we had my sunroof down because we were overheating. So we're going over it, and apparently there was like a metal plate that was covering a gate, or I don't know. There was a loose-ish metal plate
on the ground.
On the ground, and I drive over it, and it's just a super loud crack. It freaks us both out, and we're in a small, confined space. It was terrifying. Brady freaks out, and I freaked out because Brady freaked out.
It was just the noise, man. The noise just shocked me.
And I was just scared because I wasn't expecting that. It was just bad. So we're driving, and then a little bit past that, we see a gravel road, and Brady says, "Do not go down that road." Because he was telling me the whole time that that's the road that leads to the tunnel. He's like, "We are not going to the tunnel." The whole time he was adamant about it. So I was like, okay. So we keep driving. A little ways later, and then we see a sign that says dead end.
Yeah.
But
after we pass the first one-way gravel road, we drive another couple hundred yards or whatever, and there is another gravel one-way road, and that's where we see
Was it gravel?
I thought it was gravel.
I don't think it was gravel.
I thought it was gravel. It was gravel.
No, because I wouldn't have been comfortable backing up like that if it was gravel.
Okay. It wasn't gravel.
It might have been gravel.
But
we'll see next time.
We see the sign, though.
Yeah, we see the sign that says dead end. And then you can tell it has graffiti on it. Again, at this point, we're kind of spooked because of the underpass we went through. And then Brady actually puts the words together and sees what it says. And they had marked out end, and the spray paint said, "We dead inside." Might not sound scary here, but this is after all of my obsessing over the fact that there's drug addicts out here, there's people doing drugs, there's people shooting up heroin, shooting up meth. These people that I'm convinced look like the creatures off of I Am Legend, the sallow face. They scare the crap out of me. The needles scare the crap out of me. And then you see this, going back to I Am Legend, "We dead inside." We freak out.
Yeah.
I start to drive down the road like a baller. Brady throws my car into reverse. I have to slam on the brakes so I don't throw up my transmission. For the next 5 minutes or so, I'm trying to convince Brady to just let us go. I finally agree that we're not going to do it. Back up, and then put it in drive and go down the road. It was the last minute change of plans, and we get up to the house.
We don't get close.
Yeah.
We don't get close to the house. We get in viewing point of the house that was on top of the hill, and it looked like that was the only place the road led to.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dead end. I don't know why. I didn't think of that for some reason. I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have Carolyn Earl.
Okay.
She's on one.
Thank you.
Working hard. Then we're driving away, and then Brady sees a sign again, and I'll let you take it from there.
Should we pause? I mean,
we gotta pause it.
So we get into viewing point of the house. Is that where we were?
Yeah.
We get into viewing point of the house. We see the house on top of the hill, and it was the same moments we saw the last house out by Shawswick. We see it, and for some reason we just freak out.
It was terrifying.
And so he puts it in reverse, and we backtracked down the road and got out of there pretty fast. And then we headed back home. But next time, whenever you're going to be with us...
Important side note, this freaked me out. It was probably top 3 of the night that freaked me out. When we were backing out, I was backing out onto the road, a nice 3-point turn. And Brady said, "Wait a minute." And that just freaked me out for some reason. I thought he saw something that just
I did see something.
I know, we'll get there. That just put all of our suspicions like in light, like they were real, and I just got really scared. Funny thing about my car, when you punch down the gas, it doesn't move too quick. So I was just punching down the gas. It wasn't going anywhere. I was terrified. Heart rate of 120, I checked. But yeah, what'd you see, Brady?
Well, it was more of what I didn't see. So on the way in, we saw the sign that said "We dead inside," which really freaked me out. Well, whenever we backed out, I turned my head and checked the sign again, and I didn't see the spray paint on the sign. Now I'm sure that
the spray paint was off the sign, but I wanted Alex to kind of stop for a second.
I was not stopping.
So we could see that. But
chose the wrong words.
I didn't see any spray paint on the sign. Never came back out. I just saw a dead end, a yellow sign that said dead end. But I'm sure it was just the way that his headlights were and the way that we were backing out. I'm sure that, just the reflections of everything, that I just didn't see the words. But we'll never know until next time we go to see if their words are up or not. I'm sure they will be up.
They'll be up. There's no way they won't be. But
they'll be up.
It's still.
So whenever you come back, we'll check out Tunnelton. That'll probably be in the daylight also.
No, we're not doing it in the daylight.
So we'll go to Shawsburg in the daylight and then Tunnel at nighttime.
Then we'll go get some Five Guys and drive back to Bedford.
Okay.
And then do that.
And Alex is going to drive all of this time.
I guess so.
So Austin, these were our adventures. We're really excited for you to be home in less than 2 weeks now.
Yep.
So.
And you can click on the link below with all of your comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. How do we do? Just a general impression of what you thought of this podcast. Specifically targeted to myself, Violent J, or my partner here, Shaggy 2 Dope. But we'll see you on the 17th. See you in a couple weeks, buddy.